The hype is warranted. I love cinema, ever since I was a kid. Every year, I looked forward to the few scary films that could really get a rise out of me. For a long time, there was only one movie a year, if I was lucky, that could really disturb me and show me something new. Once a year, when a film could really get under my skin and make me feel something, a sense of uneasiness. Longlegs is a rare film that not only made me feel uneasy, but it gave me a villain to root against, a hero to root for, and gave us an ending that is tragic in every sense of the word. Spoilers incoming along with analysis. Longlegs follows FBI agent Lee Harker as she tracks down a serial killer whose crimes have spanned decades, with the FBI having zero luck in tracking him down. Agent Lee has a personal stake in this investigation, although she doesn't quite know it yet. Longlegs visited her when she was a young child, and they've been on a collision course ever since. As Lee and Carter, a veteran agent, unravel the mystery, we are given moments that disturb in untraditional manners. We find out that each family was given a doll near the date of their child's birthday, almost always on the 14th of the month. The dolls, these corrupted playthings meant to give a child innocence, being the tool through which not only the child, but the whole family's blood is spilled. These dolls are pawns in Longlegs' crimes, as much as Lee or Carter, anyone else. We've seen crime thrillers, mystery manhunters before, but this feels refreshing and new. It felt truly disturbing, and I really think it's a new age of directors that get horror analog. They understand that this is the vibe that the audience wants moving forward. This film feels just disturbing enough, but doesn't break the glass of unrealistic. It definitely throws a few pebbles with Lee's clairvoyance, but it's just enough for us to go along with it. Now, let's talk performances. You know Mika Monroe from It Follows, and that movie is as rock solid as they come, carried in no small part by her performance. This is another case where she does a lot of the heavy lifting, but in a different way. She's a young agent, not completely sure of herself. She has trouble making eye contact. She's awkward, but in moments where most people would freeze, she acts, she moves. She's quick to trust her instincts, and is sure in her abilities when it comes to being a law enforcement agent. A hero needs a great villain, and Longlegs provides not only Lee, but us as well, a villainous performance from Nicolas Cage for the ages. This was the type of villain that only a great character actor could portray. The only other people that come to mind would be someone like Robin Williams or Jim Carrey. People with an insane amount of charisma are sometimes the funniest. But when they aim that into horror, you have a disturbing killer like Longlegs who always acts unhinged. Take the meme, but dial it to 11, and it's unsettling. Longlegs is a guy you wouldn't want to run into late at night. He's terrifying, not only in the way he looks, but in his mannerisms. It's just unsettling how this man moves and operates in daylight. It's only scarier because he only gets caught because he allows it. It's scarier because he's caught only because he allows it. Slowly drip-feeding evidence to Lee until she finds an old picture she took of him, the key to his capture under her nose the whole time. Once captured, Longlegs goes quietly so you know something's up. Although he may have been caught, the game is still on, as there's still one more murder to commit. Longlegs frighteningly bashes his face into a desk in front of Lee, spitting blood everywhere while Lee tries to figure out who is his accomplice. Lee and Agent Browning go to her home to confront Lee's mother on what she knows about Longlegs, but Browning is gunned down by Lee's mother, in writing that's come full circle. I mentioned earlier that Lee and Longlegs had a run-in back when she was a child. Well, that same night, he came back and tied up her mother and gave her an ultimatum. Either she helps him commit these murders, or he kills Lee. And her mother Ruth complied. Since then, he's lived in their basement, creating his evil dolls while Ruth, the mother, posing as a nun, delivers them to families. Lee finally wakes up from a phone call, and it's Ruby's birthday. Agent Carter's daughter had invited Lee to her party earlier in the film, and it's these moments that seem obvious that I love, the setup that pay off later on. I knew Carter's family would play a part in the film, but I forgot that Ruby had invited Lee over for a party. Longlegs only needs one more kill, and it's always near a child's birthday. I.e., Chekhov's gun has now been loaded, and we have a standoff. Not between the agent and the killer, but between a mother and a daughter. Agent Carter is clearly possessed when he kills his wife, but is killed by Lee before he can harm Ruby, his daughter. Ruth pulls a knife, but is also killed by Lee. This is when we only have the two survivors being Ruby and Lee, but Longlegs still wins in the end. It's a haunting ending, these two young women forever compromised, and Corrupted. Earlier this year, I said that Late Night with the Devil would be a hard film to beat, but this film tops it in more ways than one. The writing is exceptional and the acting is on point with a believable killer and a story that makes us feel like a best-selling crime novel. This film is one for the books and something that I would recommend everyone see. This one, maybe the highest grade I've done in a very long time, is a 9 out of 10 for me. A film I will definitely rewatch, and a film you should too, especially if you're into true crime, horror, or any of those kinds of podcasts or YouTube channels. That said, what did you think? What is your favorite crime thriller that you can remember? Let us know down below, we'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you all next time. We'll see everybody.